When you hear the name Solo Stove, it's synonymous with fire pit, but they ventured into the pizza oven market with the pie. Is it any good? Let's find out. The Pie is a wood-fired pizza oven with an optional gas burner so it can burn wood as fuel straight out of the box. It measures right at 20 inches wide and just a shade over 15 inches tall. It weighs right at 30 pounds. It's pretty easy to transport if you want to take it on the go. Now in the box you'll find the pie oven, a tray for burning wood, a rear door to access the fire, a tool to move the door around when it's hot, as well as a tool to move logs around the fire. The oven is made of stainless steel just like their fire pits, and it fits right in with the stainless steel theme of our outdoor kitchen. There are two quarter-right pizza stones that measure ½ an inch thick and are 14 inches by 9 inches in size. That gives you a cooking surface that's 18 inches wide by 14 inches deep at the widest point. Now the opening on the pie measures 13 inches wide by under 4 inches high, and that's primarily going to determine the size of what can fit inside this oven. When it comes to pizza though, you're really limited by the size of your pizza peel since your pizza has to fit on top in order to launch into the oven. The opening to the oven is 13 inches wide and the Solo Stove peel is 11 3/4 inches in width. Now that means that you have about 1 1/4 inches of room to work with using that peel if you decide to purchase it separately, but you're limited to not quite 12-inch diameter pizzas being the largest size that this oven can put out. Now, wood is the fuel that you'll start with if you buy the basic pie oven without any additional accessories. When you open the back of the oven using the provided tool, you'll see the wood tray where you can build your fire. Starting a fire is pretty easy in this oven. I'll add in a tumbleweed fire starter first and then start stacking small splits of wood on top to get the fire going. I leave the door off for 5 to 10 minutes until the fire really gets going before I'll add a larger split of wood and close the rear door. Now I find that I need to add a new split of wood every 10 minutes or so to keep the temperature in the 700-degree range where I like to cook. Now our first few pizzas in the oven took longer than I prefer, and I found that adding larger logs may help the fire burn longer, but it doesn't burn hot enough to get the stone floor to the temperature that I'm looking for. Now I recommend taking these larger splits of wood and using something like the kindling cracker to split them into 4 to 6 smaller splits that will burn much hotter and faster. After we kicked the fire into high gear, we were finally getting the browning and rise on the crust that we were after. Now here are a few pizzas that we cooked with wood as the fuel. We started with the classic margarita pizza, and we could quickly tell that the oven wasn't up to temperature and that we needed to add more wood. It took a few tries to get used to using the new stainless steel peel as well, because it has some raised sections on the peel that we hadn't run into on other peels from other brands. Now I assume that they're to make things easier, but it took us a while to get it right. I had to use more semolina flour than I was used to, but we got the hang of it. We followed that with a pepperoni and a mushroom pizza, then a ham and a pineapple pizza, another pepperoni pizza, and then we finished by blind baking a crust for a strawberry and Nutella dessert pizza that the kids went nuts for. Now you can cook with propane gas with the add-on burner, and it makes things super easy. I found that the floor of the oven was consistently 100 to 200 degrees hotter than what I was able to maintain with wood, and that might be worth the price of entry for some of you watching. Now I enjoy working with wood pizza ovens, but they are admittedly more work than gas. I always thought there would be a taste difference between wood-only ovens versus gas ovens, but what I find is that I'm able to get more char on the pie using the gas adapter over wood. For an extra $175, it's a bit of a hike in price, but it made things easier for us to operate and cook 10 pizzas with friends. The burner is easy to install. Just take the rear door off of the oven, take out the wood rack and the ash pan, and then it's just 2 screws to secure the burner to the pie. Attach the gas hose to a 20-pound propane canister and you're simply in business. Just turn the flame dial on and you'll hear a spark that will ignite the oven. The flame can be controlled from high to low and everything in between, but when we cooked pizzas, we pretty much left it in high position to get that char on the crust. Now here are a few pizzas that we cooked with the gas burner. We started with a cheese pizza for the kids, and then we did a pepperoni for another kid, then a margarita pizza for the adults to share, along with a pizza for those who love the meats. Then we had a pepperoni, sausage, and onion, and the list just goes on and on. We did a total of 10 pizzas that night, and the gas hookup made it so that we didn't even think about what was providing the flame. Now it's worth noting that I was impressed by the ability of the outer skin of the oven to stay at a temperature where it could be touched when the fire was lit. We had a grasshopper jump on the outside of the pizza oven in the middle of this 10 pizza cook, and we followed him around as he walked with the infrared thermometer and saw temps in the 90s across the exterior after cooking quite a few pizzas. Now that's unlike the Solo Stove fire pits, where if you touch the outside while it's lit, you're going to remember never to do that again. When it comes to size, I wanted to show you a few comparisons that we have here at the lab so you can get a reference for the size of the pie oven. We'll start with the Solo Stove Bonfire fire pit. Now when you put the pie up next to it, you'll notice that they're almost exactly the same size. If the Bonfire were a fire pit, the pie would be it. The Solo Stove grill actually dwarfs the pie with a short stand, and the grill is much larger than the pie in width as well. Now when you compare the pie to an Ooni pizza oven like the Karu 16 that we have here, there's an obvious difference in the front opening size as well as the depth of the ovens. The Karu 16 has a 16-inch opening compared to the 13.25-inch opening of the pie. Now without the gas burner installed, the Karu 16 is 8 to 10 inches deeper than the pie, but with the gas burner attached, the depth is almost the same since the fire chamber is in the back of both units. Now there's an obvious price difference between the pie and the Karu 16 as well, with the Karu running around $350 more than the pie at the time of this video. Now there are a few things that you'll want to note if you're considering a Solo Stove pie as your future pizza oven. The first is that you're going to need a pizza peel if you want to launch a pizza into this oven. There isn't a peel included in the box when you order the base pie, but you can either purchase a peel separately or upgrade to either the starter or the essentials bundle to get all the goodies. The starter bundle comes with a stainless steel pizza peel, a pizza cutter, and an infrared thermometer so you can measure your hearth temperature. The Essentials bundle comes with everything that's in the starter bundle and adds the pie shelter, or cover for those of you who don't follow the Solo Stove lingo. That bundle also includes their stainless steel turning peel, so you don't have to pull pizzas all the way out of the oven to turn them when you're cooking. When it comes to putting this oven where you're going to use it, you'll need to think about having access to the back of the oven with either fuel method. To add wood, you'll need to be able to work around the back of the oven so it can't go up against a wall. Now, if you're using propane, you'll still need access to the fuel knob on the burner to turn it on and off and control the temperature. I'd recommend a freestanding cart or a countertop that's not up against the wall like what we have here in our outdoor kitchen. If you're cooking with wood, know that this oven is going to get dirty. We ended up with a healthy layer of soot on top of the oven with wood for fuel, but it's easily cleaned off. You'll want to keep a bottle of Barkeeper's Friend around. With a few swipes of a cloth, it looks brand new. Now the stone floor of the oven is also going to get dirty, so don't take the stones out and clean them with water. Think more of a cleaning cycle with your oven, where you kick up the temperature and let the fire cleanse everything. If you happen to have the Solo Stove station, the pie also fits perfectly on a shelf like either of their fire pits, so storage is easy. Now, if you want to keep the pie on a counter or out in the elements, there's an optional cover that works both with and without the gas burner attached. So if you want to check the current price on the Solo Stove pie, we put a link in the description below, so head on over, check the price, and see if there's any details that we left out in our review. If you do click the link in the description and make a purchase, you'll be supporting our channel, and our entire family of barbecue nerds thanks you. Now, it doesn't cost you a penny more to use our link, but it means the world to us. Now, I'm David Gaffer from the Barbecue Lab, and if you're into outdoor cooking, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're on all the major social networks from Instagram and Facebook to TikTok and Twitter, so head on over where you can see behind the scenes of what's going on here at the lab. We've got some content coming up that we've been working on for 6 months, so hit that notification button so you don't miss out on the best in outdoor cooking. We'll see you next time.